Well, time gets nice fresh air. Well done, Alexman. I cured you from the curse, didn't I? You should be safe now. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now, I have yet more to tell you thee. Would thou listen? Sure. Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. This evil man seriously uses his vile sorcerer's powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in the sacred realm that once we'll find a divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. And they have this really frightful scene here. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. And finally, Fayor, the goddess of courage. Again, this was very impressive back in the day, seeing all this animated stuff, especially that raindrops in the background. It's actually pretty cool. Look at all this impressive stuff here is really funny, really cool and everything. Din. With her strong fountain flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nehru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit the law of the world and gravity, to name a few. Fayor, with her rich soul, produced the life forms that would uphold the law. The 3 great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens. And the golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence. And the resting place for the triangles has become the sacred realm. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hand on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that, the curse, my end is nigh. Thou were valiant efforts to break the curse, you were successful. I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Alexman, go now to Hyrule Castle. There thou will surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you. That stone will be the man who wanted much that he cast a curse upon me. So, they say that the Kokiri Forest is not able to be traversed at all, but one man did, the man in black armor, and basically cursed the tree specifically. Also, the fact is that in the manga, there's a side story into this of why, like, the Lost Woods were evil and creepy, is the fact that there was an evil Deku Tree amidst in the woods. It's too bad this didn't really become a thing, though, later on. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted you by the Great Deku Tree. The future depends upon thee, Alexman. Thou art courageous. Navi the Fairy, help Alexman to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye. And he becomes... His leaves fall, and the bark becomes gray and dead. Now what are we gonna do? We usually dress this guy up for Christmas every year, and now we can't. Oh, dang it. Let's go to Hyrule Castle, Alexman. Let's go. We have a long work ahead of us. Goodbye, Great Deku Tree. Goodbye, tree. I'll make you proud. You know you can respond, right? Oh, he's almost to appear here. Alright, Kokiri, what do you got for us, Mido? Hey, Alexman, what did you do? The Great Deku Tree, did he die? How could you do a thing like that? It's all your fault. Grumble, grumble. Well, it's not entirely completely all my fault. Is that man in black armor that you guys couldn't see? Or maybe the Kokiri or stuff are people you can't see. It's like the Minish, you know? They can't be seen by adults, and so the Kokiri can only be seen by those of children. It's probably why none of them basically saw it. None of my Ganondorf probably didn't even see any of them. That's probably the case in that regard. But we need to leave this world, though. We need to leave so that we can continue our way forward. Oh, you're gonna leave? Hello. We Kokiri will die if we leave the forest. You're not going to try to leave the forest, are you? Yep, I am. I'm going to defy fate by going outside and see what clear skies look like. Doopa 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 doo 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 doo. Oh, you're leaving? What? Saria. I knew that you would leave the forest someday. Because you are different from me and my friends. Yeah, I was the last one to get a fairy. What'd that point to you? But that's okay. Because we'll be friends forever, won't we? I want you to have this ocarina. Please take good care of it. And we get ourselves our item. The musical item that basically had mostly a presence in a lot of Zelda games at this point in time, where music took a big focus. You receive the fairy ocarina. This is a memento from Saria. Set it to C and press C to start playing it. On the select item subscreen, you can select it with any of those C buttons and then use it C to start playing it. You can play different notes with A and the 4 C buttons. Press B to quit playing or start your song over again. When you play my ocarina, I hope you will think of me and come back to the forest to visit. And it's weird how Link just walks back like he's scared. But, again, it's a lot more prevalent in the manga. I mean, read the manga and you can understand the scene a lot better. I mean, the manga is just so much better than the games themselves. And that's saying a heck of a lot. But now we're back out in the fields of Hyrule Field. Ooh boy! And this was big back then when we were like, so you know how Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were really big Hyrule Fields that we can explore? This was our Breath of the Wild moment. Let's see how big this field was back in the day, back in 1997 and 98, I tell you. Also, we have our famous Birdman. Hoot hoot, Alexman, look up here. It appears that the time has come to finally you to start on your adventure. You will encounter many hardships ahead. Banish your fate. Don't feel discouraged, even during the toughest times. Go straight this way, and you will see Hyrule Castle. You will meet a princess there. If you are lost and don't know which way to go, look at the map. The areas you have explored will be shown on the map. Press start to enter the subscreens and Z and R to find the map. On the map subscreen, you will also see a flashing dot showing which way you should go next. Did you get all that? Yes. If you say no, he'll say it all over again. Alright then, I'll see you around. Hoot, 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 hoot. Now I'm off to find a rat. Okay, you go find a rat talking owl. So yeah, welcome to Hyrule Field. Better get cutting down those trees down so you can grab all that wood. Oh right, that's not Breath of the Wild. That's later. So yeah, it's coming seeing this for the first time was a kind of a sad like Technically, my history of the Ocarina of Time was when I got the collector's edition GameCube disc. A person gave it to me while I was in high school, and it was really cool, but he didn't have the Master Quest disc with it. He just had the original games, which had Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask on it. And that's where I basically did play Ocarina of Time for the second time, where I basically, because my first time playing Ocarina of Time was literally on an emulator. Yeah, it was like the Project 64 emulator, and for some reason it wouldn't load a lot of things, like say, I'd say like the boss of Dungeon 3, Lord Jabu Jabu's belly. Yeah, it didn't load that very well, and every time you play it would be so low. Also, this is kind of a jerk move, is that you walk normally through here and somehow you can't make it. But if you sidestep your way over here, you just have barely enough time to make it in here in one cycle. But time doesn't really take very long to get through here and everything. Like, it's like 5 minutes technically to waste your time out here But now you get first to face yourselves with these Stalchildren. Basically, Link's versions, at least the young versions of Stalfos, really. Which they are in this game, for the record. The Stalchildren are kind of gruesome, anyway. They kind of act like they're kids that died. And it's like, ugh. But now their cursed corpses are coming out because the vile evil forces are upon the land now. But if you kill enough of these, a bigger version will show up like this, and which will drop a blue rupee for you. So again, if you're looking for some cash early on, this is a good way of doing things, even though they don't really drop very much. I guess we can explore a little bit around here. Probably, Gaebora is going to tell us, hey, you should go around the opposite way. Well, the time, like again, like how fast that moon drops. Like the day and night cycle in this game is pretty fast, all things considered. But when when the light's out, the cuckoos basically say their hellos. The gate comes on down. But you can actually walk on these chains here, and normally you're supposed to wait for the gate to close. But if you jump here, you can grab yourself some easy 20 rupees. And we get ourselves into the Hyrule Castle town. But first, time to raid some people's jar collection here and get us some rupees. Because the guard here will most likely say, yeah, we got jars in here because we're kind of bored, because there hasn't been much of a war since the Great Civil War that we had a few years ago. And so we're just setting up pots anywhere we wish. I wish if that was something they want to go into, I wish the games would go into the Great Civil War. Like, I feel like that'd be kind of a cool game to get ourselves into, or at least, more backstory to it. And I believe the manga goes into it somewhat, but not much. Man, I am so bored. Things would be so more interesting around here if there were more troubles in the world. You're a villain already. Hey, that's just between you and me, okay? Anyway, maybe we can let off some steam by breaking these jars. Stand near a jar and press A to lift it and press A again to toss it. Or you just break it like I said before. But you want to come in here though, because there is a gold sculpture. This one can't be easily missed. There we go. Take you out right there. You destroyed a gold sculpture. Ho-ho! But now we're at max rupees now. Yeah, this is a game where they introduced the wallet system. Like, there's 3 different wallets you can get. There's the 2 different wallets. You can get the adult wallet and the huge wallet. So you can hold up to 500 rupees at the final hours of the thing. But here it is, folks. This is Hyrule Castle Town, and it's all its glory. It's pixelated glory and everything, which is funny because I wish there was more of a 3D thing. You know what's funny? We rarely ever explore a town in Hyrule. I say Minish Cap basically helps you with this, but Minish Cap was kind of like its own thing by technicality standards. But still, the fact that like in later games though, like the whole process of coming into a bustling town is something that the Zelda games have not really done with, I think, since Minish Cap, I want to say. But you can walk around and enjoy the sights. There's a lot of places you can go and explore. This guy will give you basically, 500 rupees if you give him a fish. All that stuff. We also have this particular fellow right here. Hey, your clothes! They're different. You're not from around here, are you? Well, not very talker. Oh, you're a fairy from the forest. My name's Malon. My dad owns Lon Ranch. This must be Malon. Yeah, Melon, right? Dad went to the castle to deliver some milk and he hasn't come back yet. Oh, that's gonna be a case of worrisome. The guy is like, I'm going by a joke that everyone just makes fun of Malon's name. What are you? I've never seen you before. What a strange shop. I wonder will it be open for business. I read the sign there, but it still seems weird. What's the sign say? Happy Mask Shop. Please read the sign before you use the shop. Well, the shop works. We do not sell masks at the shop. We just lend them to you. You sell the load masks on your own. It's basically like eBay, but you know, less tedious and everything else. You can borrow masks you can already sold again. However, you can only sell one each of borrow masks only once. You do this for the Mask of Truth, which basically allows you to talk to stones that will allow you to eventually at one point or another to get yourselves information about backstory of the game itself. Not too much of that though. Also, we need to leave Hyrule Castle Town because Castle Town, as well as any other towns, will basically prevent time flow naturally, which we need to have the time flow naturally here. Hey, Alexman, this way! Hoot hoot! The princess is inside the castle just ahead. Be careful not to get caught by the guard. Hoot 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 hoot! On this ground, time flows normally, but stand still when you're in Lon Ranch or in a town. If you want time to pass normally, you're going to leave town. Well, which way are you going to go now? Hoot hoot hoot! Do you want to hear what I said again? No. Hoot hoot, you're a smart kid. Good luck. Hoot hoot. I'm going to find myself another rat. Yeah, very tasty though. You go do that. First off, I'm gonna knock this tree and get ourselves a gold Skulltula. That's not very hard to miss. Not bad at all. And the gate disappeared. The render distance in this game is funny as heck. But we want to leave this and come back though, because we need to talk to Malon and wait for her to come out here for us to continue this journey of ours. Because when you come back here, Malon is gone, which means she has walked. We passed her on the way through the transition phase here. We come back to here and she's standing right here. Because we need her to give us something to continue on with our adventure. Are you going to the castle, fairy boy? You wouldn't mind finding my dad? He must have fallen asleep somewhere around the castle. What a thing for an adult to do. Tee-hee. Oh yeah, if you are looking for him, I'll give you this to you. I've been incubating this egg very carefully. Tee-hee. And you got yourself a weird egg. Feels like there's something moving inside. Ooh. See outside to see and see what happens. In the select items subscreen, you can set this to any of the buttons and then proceed to use it. It's not apparent to us now, but we're gonna have to wait for later. Unfortunately, we gotta wait for time to basically pass through a cycle in itself for this. Oh, this vine is very finicky. You're supposed to climb this, and I think it's the middle one you're supposed to climb where the thing is. But there's gravel points on the left and right, and they don't go very far. But man, this is where, I mean, the music in this game is actually kind of not memorable. I kind of feel the music tracks really don't hit me as much as later games would. So we need to basically do a stealth sequence here. A very weird, awkward stealth sequence. Basically, the only reason this is happening is because one person tried to break into Hyrule Castle so they could see the princess. Then the right of this, though, the fact that they got caught and basically got thrown out, and then the kingdom is like, guards everywhere on the road and make sure no one gets by. Even though we can easily go through here. The guards can clearly see kids walking around the grass, but they don't care. What is that? Is that some grass carrying a sword? Yes. Oddly enough. This is also again, oh man, this is such a memorable game for me. Now you can talk to if you get knocked out a few times, the guard will eventually open the gate for you so you can walk through, but it won't stop you from basically being stopped at from everything else. Now, this tree, this cursed tree, if you're going after like all the gold Skulltulas, this spot has a hole. If you use a song later on in the game, will basically give you, well actually it'll give you rubies, but there's a hole in the ground here that'll appear if you use a song later on. like the Song of Storms that you'll get later. And that will basically open up a hole, which will have a gold Skulltula in it. So remember that for later if you want to do so of that sort. But then we're stuck with this sleepy fellow. Mumble mumble. Welcome to our ranch, it's so fun. Come and look around. And that is Talon, and we can't do anything with him right now because he's a heavy sleeper. So we're going to have to wait for the time to go through, but we can still set our things up for his puzzle to get clear up here. But we need to actually push these stuff together, and I don't want to climb. I want to push this over and get these things up as close as we can to each other, because we have to push 2 of these blocks down, because this is the milk that Lon Lon Ranch is delivering to the castle. They had, oh man, look at this. The castle had its very own Uber, Uber Eats. I order some milk. I want some that glorious Lon Lon milk that you've had for a while now. But the funny thing about this sequence of events here is that if you actually get inside the castle while it's nighttime, there will be guards inside the area in which you cannot pass. And so it means you're forced for the time to go through. And look at that. That time went too fast. Man, the lives of a Hylian are very short, apparently. We just gotta wait for the time to get sunrise, and our egg buddy here will transform into a chicken! Which is, cuckoo by technicality. It's a miracle of life. But they just need to wake this guy up. What in tarnation? Can't that pussy get a little shut around here? Goodness gracious. Hello there, and who might you be? Yep, I'm Talon, the owner of Lon Lon Ranch. I went to the castle to deliver some milk, but I sat down here to rest, and I guess I fell asleep. What? Malon was looking for me. I'm going to catch it from her now. I messed up really bad leaving Malon behind to wait for me. He actually looks like he has like a lot of red eye. I didn't realize that until now. Like he actually has a red eyes. Like he has a really trouble sleeping, so that his eyes are always tired. No wonder he sleeps so much. Man, I can relate. With someone who's had eye strain in the past, I mean, golly, having red eyes and everything is just like, or pink eye for that matter. Ugh. I mean, seriously, if that's the case, man, I'd be kind of scared myself. I'm like, man, I say, get all the sleep you need, dude. But in your line of work, you need to let let your co-owner, Ingo, basically help out. Oh no, I don't let him go on adventures. He helps service the ranch. I make the deliveries. Let's go into here and get to the castle.